and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Top of the morning. Happy Mickey Ficky Hump Day. You know what it is. It's Wednesday. We rocking together, man. There's only one nation. That's y'all. That's you guys and me and anybody else rocking the silver and black. You know how we do this. Welcome to another morning show of the Morning Raider Nation Live podcast right here on Raiders Allegiance with your boy, Lunatic Raiders. Shout out to everybody that's here. Appreciate it. We got a damn good show today. Oh, we got a good show. I've been putting my talents to use, man, getting all this information. You know, I'm a problem solver. I'm a go out there and find the facts type dude. It's not a knock on nobody. We're just gonna go and dig in deep into the OTAs, and we can only go by what the coaches say and what the players say. And if everybody's saying the same thing, I'm pretty sure that they're all not lying. You know what I mean? Now, like 2 or 3 said one thing, and then these 2 over here said something different, bruh. Then I'm like, hold on, bruh. So when you Mickey Fickies is lying, but everybody has been saying the same thing. And you know another thing I've been reading in between, well, not reading in between the lines, hearing actually what they're saying coming out of their mouth, that they pay attention to us, the content creators, the social media people. They pay attention to us. They hear us. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into all that, man. We're going to break down some of these players. Today's show is OTA Revelations. We're going to reveal a lot of stuff that we learned from these press conferences, interviews, and all the information that we gather from Raider Nation within the building, the players, the coaches, and we're going to try to dissect it and see exactly what it is that we're dealing with as far as our team for the 2023 season. Hey, we about to do this shit, y'all. This is going to be a damn good show. I got a lot of information, a lot of footage, a lot of video footage. You know what I mean? A lot of good video footage. I don't know midgets and donkeys or nothing, but some footage of spoken word. You know, it almost sounds like poetry coming out the mouths of the coaches, the GMs, the players, and they're all in sync. Shout out to NSYNC, the All Boys group. Not that I ever bought your album, but hey, salute to you as well. Hey, but shout out to everybody out there, man. Hey, thank you guys for pulling up and hanging with your boy on Hump Day. You know what I mean? Go get you a hump. If you ain't got a hump, get a camel. If you ain't got a camel, get a girl and hump on her. Shout out to everybody. NorCal Raider Jesse, my dude, is in the building. Man, I appreciate you, brother, for everything you do for this channel, man. Hey, salute to you, man, for real. Just in case you feel like, you know what I mean, that you're not appreciated. Bruh, you're freaking appreciated, man. You make this thing go. You know what I mean? Like, hey, speaking of, since Transformers coming, hey, who going to see Transformers this weekend? I know me and my son ain't the only one. Y'all ain't rocking with it? And if you do go, do you guys ever watch it in the D-Box? And if so, what are your opinions on that? And then also, will you see it in 3D? Because it's also available in 3D. But I wish I can get 3D in the D-Box. Bruh, I'm in hog heaven on that one. Shout out to everybody in chat. Paul Gaines in the building. Man, good morning to you, my brother. It's a pleasure to have you here, S&D. Oh, there go my dude. Lobby One, where the hell you been, bruh? I thought I was gonna have to put an APB out. We need an APB on Lobby One. He's missing. He took the lightsaber and you know what I mean? I thought I was gonna have to put one of them out on you, bruh. It's good to see you though, man. I'm glad you're here. For real, my guy Dark. Come on now. Look, this is Dark's nickname, y'all. Watch. This is Dark's nickname. Dark, what's up, dog? Where you go? Where you go? Oh, there you go. Hey, what's up, Dark? Oh shit, where you go? Now let me. I'm acting a nut this morning, y'all, and I'm in a good mood. Dissecting all this stuff. Hey, things look optimistic for the Raiders. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm not saying that it's going to be, but all signs, all arrows, and all snitches is pointing towards the Raiders doing the right thing that they did in the draft and free agency and what they were building. We're going to break it all down. I can't wait. Man. I'm waiting for this erection go down, and then we can jump into it. Hey, Chindo Ramirez, man, top of the morning, man. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here, brother. For real, I took a week off, step back, because, I noticed a lot of negativity, whether it was people I looked at as bashing the team or people within NWA bashing with each other, man. I just kind of want to step away for a minute, man, clear my head and just, I'm not about negativity, bruh. I mean, I could be, but when you get older, you as a person changes. You know what I mean? You go from being more reactive, or you change from being reactive. When you're young, you react to situations like, me and Spark Plug, like, bam, something go down. You fire up, you front line and you ready. And then you go from that type of individual. When you get older, then you become the cerebral type. You know what I mean? You think things out. You see each move before you make it. It's like chess. You know what I mean? It goes from checkers to chess, from being adolescent to teenage to young adult as checkers. Then you jump into chess when you get older. Like everything that you before you even make a move, you think it out. Whereas a young, you just flare up. You're reactionary. But then when you get older, it becomes cerebral. You process things before you speak, before you move. You kind of sit there and judge it and think it out. Like, okay, if I was to say this is most likely what the return comment gonna be, and this is where it's gonna lead down. You could pretty much predetermine how an argument's gonna go or a situation, all beginning with your first reaction or your first action. You know what I mean? So I stepped away just to clear my mind. You know what I mean? Now I'm back, bruh. We got good content. I think the Raiders are on path. They're heading in the right direction. Will we make the playoffs this year? I don't know. But that's not what it's focused on. What I'm focused on is, are we a better team compared to last year? That's what matters. Are we better than last year from the moves we made and the additions that we drafted? That's the key. You know what I mean? Maybe we only go from 6 to 7 wins, but that's a one-game improvement. How many games last year we lost by less than a touch? You know what I mean? So one-game improvement, but I don't think it's just going to be one game. I think we have the potential of I think we're on the cusp of getting on track to where we want to go. Not where we hope to go, where we want to, where you can actually control your destiny. And as far as where you're going to end up, it's all by the work you put in now. That's what I'm getting to. But we're going to get into it. Just hold on real quick. I got to give y'all love, man, because y'all here supporting the channel. You do this on the mornings I'm on. Like I said, I took a week off. I'm back now. Let's rock and roll and get this thing rolling. Shout out to y'all, man. Robert Pena, man, top of the morning to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Who else we got in here? We got Robert Pena again. We got Lobby One. Hey, they're twins. We got 2 Lobby Ones and 2. No, let me quit, y'all. That's y'all. Dark, my dude, already said you, bruh. You know what I mean? Hey, my dude, though, you always here. Thank you for your support, man, for real. I don't know where I would have got my crack from if you would never been in the Oh, did I say that out loud on we live? If we live? Oh, we live? Oh, my bad. I thought we was recording. Never mind, Dark. Hey, allegedly get my crack from Dark. Allegedly. No, I don't smoke crack. Let me quit, man. Hey, y'all, you know I be tripping out. Raider Fontaine, man, what is the deal, man? Top of the morning. Thank you for being here. Eagle Terran 207 in the building. Yes, sir, man. We got a good show for you this morning, y'all. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm just going Eugene Powell, my dude, top. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Let's see who else we got up in here. Tony Sheffer. Hey, top of the morning, man. Salute to you. Thank you for coming. Yes, the COMING, not the CUM. Thank you for coming, not coming. Oh, I'm coming. No, coming to the channel and hanging out, bro. I appreciate it. Not that I had to break it down to you, but you know, in case everybody else is out there saying, "Pause, pause, lunatic, pause." What? These pause? You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, man. I know I'm tripping. I'm just, you know, hey, it's a good day to be a Raider, man. That's all. You know how I'm passionate and optimistic I'm being. Hey, Raider Goon in the building, man. Top of the morning. Thank you for being here, my brother, for real. We got more people pulling up. We got 24, but they're going to show up. I just sent out the links. I just want to make sure that everybody that's here now gets their due diligence, get their due knock or shout out. Paul Gaines in the building. Man, I appreciate those kind words, man, for real. You know what I mean? I'm back. Like I said, we all need vacations, bro. I get like that at work sometimes where you just constantly doing the same shit night in, night out. And it's like, bro, I'm not going to work today. That's why I can't wait till the football season, because any day the Raiders play, and we got like 4 or 5 primetime games, whether it's Thursday, whether it's a Saturday, whether it's a Sunday night, Monday night, I'm not going to work. I'm changing my schedule. You know what I mean? Hey, ain't nothing going to interrupt me watching my Raiders play, bruh. Come on now. We root for them to win, not hope that they lose or expect them to lose. You feel me? We all ride this together, man. Hey, nothing but love and respect to everybody out there, man, in the nation. There's only one of us. Everybody else is straight counterfeit. Holly, what's the deal, Miss Lady? Hey, top of the morning. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Hey, Nutty Raider, man. Where you been, bruh? Good to see you, man. Hey, thank you for pulling up. We got a good show this morning. Chris Ariola, man, my dude, man. Good morning. Thank you for coming as well. COMING, coming, not coming. No, let me quit. That joke ain't never gonna get old. Fuck that. Just like I got that motherfucking what I say? I got the Peter Pan syndrome. Can't get old, bruh. I tried, but I can't do it. JB on the good foot in the building. Top of the morning, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Man, it's good to see y'all, man. Hey, for real. We got a good show, though. I'm going to keep saying it. We got a damn good show this morning. 631 ENT, man. What is the deal, man? Tops. Man, thank you for being here. Yes, sir. We in here. Hey, it's the usual suspects, bruh. You know how we do this shit. Frankie Sanchez is in the Mickey building. Let's go. Let's go. This is the support I like. You're not supporting me. You supporting the nation. Because that's all I'm going to talk about is the nation. I'm talking about Raider Nation. You feel me? Alfredo the boss with the sauce. Man, tops to you, man. For real. Oh, yeah, we in here. Oh, I'm loving it this morning. Hey, it's a good Wednesday. It's a good Wednesday. Would you say you want you want Favre to come in and sling the rock? Shit, that decrepit ass. He might slang it to EBT cards. He could slang an EBT card legally, allegedly. You know what I mean? We good, bro. Hey, we are good. Trust me. I'm seeing the breakdown of this. We're good. We're good. All right. We got everybody. Shout out to everybody watching. If you are here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. Let me turn down this music in case it's drowning me out. But that's a slapping ass beat though. Oh my God. I got a verse I gotta lay for this one. Ooh, called Heart of a Raider. Heart of a Raider, boy. But yeah, man, let's dive into the matter of fact. Let me turn this down all the way down. And there was a few things that caught my ear and my eye with these interviews, players, GMs, coaches. Hey, let's jump into this, y'all. Let me. That's how I crack my knuckles. I fake it because you know what I mean. My knuckles. Hey, I think I got motherfucking arthritis, man. My knuckles, boy. Ugh. I think that's what you get from knocking the shit out of people all your life. Let me see. Okay, let me find these videos. All right, we're gonna break this down. I got this thing. We're gonna go in order with this. I'm loving this, bro. We got some good content this morning, man. For real. All right. So what we gonna do? Let me start this also. Let me go right here with it. Okay, I want you there. I want you. Then I want to get him. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start off with Ziegler. Ziegler's a GM. We're gonna start with him. Then we're gonna hit with McDaniels. After McDaniels, we're gonna talk about these. I want to get to the. Okay, that's perfect right there. All right. So I went through and broke down the interviews that Ziegler had, McDaniels had, some of the players from Diablo to Max Crosby. You know what I mean? Breaking it down as far as trying to figure out, you know, by their information, putting the puzzle together to see exactly what's going on. Did we do what we went out to go do in free agency as well as the draft? I think we covered all aspects. I think we are on the right track to getting this team back into being a contender for that trophy, bruh. I'm telling you, it might not happen this year, but every year, and it's not going to be too many years, we're going to get closer each and every time. You know what I mean? We got to gauge it this year. My main takeaway from what McDaniels did was for year one, y'all do not focus on year one. I'm going to tell you what year one was. Oh, wait a minute. Before I even get into that, man, salute to the chat, man. You know what we got to do? We got to get back to the old ways. Hey, without you, there's no me. And without us, there's no nation. There's only one nation. That's the motherfucking Raider Nation, man. Hey, salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for supporting this channel and this platform because this is for all of us. Thus is why I named it Raiders Allegiance. It's all of our allegiance to the Raiders. You know what I mean? I wanted to make it about us. Not me, not you, not her, not him, not it, but us. The nation. We are the nation. We motivate players. We may not have never stepped foot on a professional football field as a player. We may not ever coach. We may not ever be a GM, but you know what we are? We're fans of this team. We're fans. Fans coming from the word fanatic. We are truly fanatics about the Raiders. That's the one fan base that I think no other fan base can compare to. We are true fanatics for our team. Now, sometimes it may come across as us bashing the team, but we get so frustrated for not having our team being successful. Sometimes, and this was one thing I was always taught by the OGs. OGs used to tell me, as well as homeboys, you know, because we all got the same game. And this was one thing I always took with me in life as a youngster, always passing it on to my son. One thing about being mad, a madman can't think. Facts. A madman can't think. So therefore, when you spew a lot of stuff out of being angry, you tend to don't think about what you're saying, whether it's an argument with your spouse, whether it's an argument with anybody else, a friend, you know, a stranger. you get to the point where you get mad enough where you start just saying things, but you don't think. And I always kept that to heart because that's some real shit. And as fans, we have fans that get so mad that they don't think about what they're saying, but they say it. Now, does that mean that they are a fan or they're not a fan because of what they're saying? No, I think they're just angry. And it take me, I had to step back and analyze some of the things and get on the heads of some cats that talk bad about the Raiders, but me being passionate about it's kind of like being a father to a son. You know your son ain't that great in football, but you be damned if anybody else say that shit. You know what I mean? Like, say my son trash, I'm gonna fuck you up. Say it. Say my son trash, even though I'm like, yeah, my son ain't that great, bruh. But it can't nobody else say that shit. Just like if I call my bride a bitch, and it's not that I'm degrading her, it's just the way we talk. Oh, nigga, oh, bitch. You know what I mean? I'm not degrading, it's just the way our acceptance of what we talk about. I'll be damned if anybody motherfucking else call her a bitch. You see what I mean? So maybe at times my passion kind of like makes people feel alienated. I can see that. And being a man of my age is like, I see that shit. And maybe I'm across too strong. Maybe my passion is too deep. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Key Sweat. How deep is your love? Hey, my love for the Raiders is deep. Deeper than Atlantis. You know what I mean? Deeper than the sea floor traveled by the mantis. Hey, shout out to X Clan. You know what I mean? I'll be throwing them old school gems out there for y'all. But yeah, so let's continue on. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the GM, our GM, Ziegler, on what it is that what type of players they were looking for the team, how he feels the players that we have, are those the players that we wanted, you know what I mean, as far as what do they bring into the table. So enough of me. Let me go ahead and get down this chat real quick. Make sure I ain't got nobody missing before I go into these videos. All right. Shout out to everybody out there. Okay. Look at Chindo dropping the science. True. Enzyme gets get released in the brain when you're angry. Legit drops your IQ. There it is. So I guess the saying that I was taught, that is true. A madman can't think. And that's real shit. Sometimes we gotta take a breath, think, then react. Sometimes we react and then we think later like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And a lot of times when that happens, you're doing like you got your third strike. You're doing life in the pen with no parole. That's when you react without thinking. Shit like that happens. You know what I mean? But hey, shout out to Chindo, man. Hey, thank you for your expertise on the subject matter of being a dumbass madman. I appreciate that. All right, let's dig into this, y'all. Let's start. Enough of me. All right. So we're going to get into what Ziegler feels the type of players the Raiders want and need draft-wise, free agency. We're gonna start constructing through their eyes and what they know of what this roster should look like. You know what I mean? What is, as far when I say should, I'm talking about what the additions, what we have, and what they're trying to build as we speak. So what it should look like after we get to the 53 and cut everybody that we don't want and keep the people we do. We're going to get to that point. So let's hear from Ziegler what he thinks the type of player is that the Raiders want on this team.
I tell you, what's that ideal young player for this Raiders team look like? I mean, his versatility, his competitiveness. What does that ideal young player look like?
Yeah, I think I'd regurgitate a little bit of what I said before, but I think one thing too is we're looking to add guys that have some sort of ability to a level of explosiveness and or a level of disruptiveness in their game. And so that's something that we're looking for, and it comes in different packages.
Right.
It could be a corner that has great length at the line of scrimmage and can disrupt and press man.
Yeah.
You know, it can be a guy that can disrupt in the kicking game or disrupt as an offensive player. And so, you know, we're looking for that. Versatility is important. The more that you can do, you know, when you pigeonhole yourself, you're going to have some guys that are one position players on your roster, but the more guys that aren't,
they have to be good too.
yeah, they have to be good. And so I'd say that level of explosiveness, disruptiveness, a level of versatility, and like I said, you know, the cultural fabric for when we talk about being a Raider, it's that smart, tough, physical, you know, mentally tough, physical player with a level of explosiveness and a level of disruptiveness, and that's what we're going to preach, and I think we've done a good job of adding those types of players this offseason, but that's what we looked for in the guys that we drafted, and we're really excited about this draft class, their level of maturity and how they've come in as pros from day one. They have a ways to go, but they're off to a good start.
Well, great. We're off to a great start. So those are the building blocks of the characteristics of the players that the Raiders are looking to add to this team to build with, right, through the draft. Do we have that? We're going to soon find out as I continue on. But just breaking down what he's saying, you need mentally tough, smart individuals who love football. And remember the key word, work ethic. We talked about this yesterday, work ethic. Now, this is going to be the common denominator with these players, work ethic. What does work ethic was? And here's the key. What is the abbreviation of work ethic? It would be WE, work ethic. And you remember yesterday I was saying, and that's a brilliant ass fucking analogy as far as breaking this down. You remember I said, and there's an old saying, and I said this before too, but let's get into it deeply. There's a saying that the machine as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which means what they're trying to build, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, as a fully constructed entity is greater than each individual player that plays in it. That's why I said on defense, a lot of people, we were looking at the linebackers like, well, we ain't the linebackers. I'm not impressed. That's not what they're shooting for. They're shooting for individuals in the defense to fit the machine. Now, when the machine is completely built with all the parts you need, how does that machine run? See, I think, like I said yesterday, I think that we're overthinking it where we're focusing on individuals. Like, we don't have the big name linebacker. We don't have this big free agents, you know, that gonna cost 20, 25 million a year. Because that's not the kind of defense we're building. We're building the kind of defense where everything matters as far as everything is every player matters within the system of those 11 men on the field. You feel me? So I think it's the way that the defense moves as a whole is way more important than the greatness of an individual player. So we're going to continue on. Now let's get into what Ziegler so far. Okay, we hear what Ziegler said, the type of players the Raiders want, right? Now, he said he thinks that we drafted those type of players, all right? So let's get a feedback from him on what his perception of the OTA so far, even though you can't read a lot into OTAs. There's not a lot, you know what I mean? But you can get a glimpse of what could be. That's the whole key, a glimpse. If your team can show you what it can be, then that's what you're going to try to build. You know what I mean? Because you see the silver lining that, hey, this team has potential to be something special. Okay, so let's get into what Ziegler thinks about the OTAs so far.
Yeah, I'm excited about the energy that we have with this team. I think, you know, when we talk about what it means to be a Raider and what we're trying to build here, we're trying to, you know, put as many players on the roster that have a high football intelligence, that are able to operate in critical situations, understand their role within the team, guys that are physically and mentally tough. and guys that have a passion for football and love the process. And I think that's what I'm really excited about this team. We have a lot of guys that love the process. We have a lot of guys that are pulling in the same direction. We're getting tremendous leadership out of, some of our, some of the guys that we expect. And I'm excited about our young guys that we drafted. We're getting, we're seeing a lot of strides that they've made in a short amount of time, from their conditioning to their physical appearance, and then just their performance on the field here during OTAs, which you can only take so much, from that. But it's been good. I feel like we have we're in a different spot than we were a year ago. Partly because there's a lot of guys that are in year 2 in the system, not just the players, but the coaches too, and have an understanding of what the expectations are. The players have an understanding of what the expectations are, and our coaches have an understanding of how to get the most out of these individual players. And so really excited about the energy, the work ethic, and where we're going right now.
Go that key phrase, work ethic. He's excited of the work ethic. And then he also mentioned the changes that the coaching staff has done to improve on what we already have. And that's where real coaching comes into play. See, a lot of people, I'm not going to get into it yet, but see, to be a great coach means you have to adapt. You have to adapt. Because, sometimes you get those old school coaches that I shouldn't have to change my offense or defense for, you know what I mean? And you're going to have to just fit into what I'm doing, rather than let me adjust my concept around your strengths. That's what a brilliant coach does. A smart coach adapts his offense to what the weapons he has, to the strengths, rather than try to force them to fit what he's trying to do. And a lot of people knock Josh McDaniels, said he's a horrible coach, play calling. That's for the birds. That's for the birds. Numbers show me that's bullshit. Play calling, every coach in the league makes subject or suspect play calls. Facts. And I'm not just talking about one or two. In a 17-game season, every coach makes suspect play calls. Now, some get lucky in the execution of those suspect plays. They pan out. But then you get teams like us that it don't. But if anybody else did the same play and it was a success, nobody would say anything. You know what I mean? Like, once again, I'm going to reiterate, Kansas City, not did they do it once, they've done it twice in a real game. Ring around the rosies. Like, you mean to tell me if say, for instance, Josh McDaniels came out there and ran that same play, you would say he was batshit crazy. What are you doing? You would look at that play like he was freaking retarded all Sherm. But when somebody else does it that has more credibility because of it falling into working out for him, it's okay. No, ring around the rosies in a live NFL game ain't okay, regardless of who the coach is. That is a dumb-ass play call. Facts, regardless of who calls it. Lombardi himself can call it. John Madden could have called. That's a dumb-ass play. It only looks good because if you become successful. If you succeed, but that's not a play call you would call, like, okay, we're going to run ring around the rosies. Nah, hell, in 2022, the last season, Kansas City ran that shit twice, once against us and once against somebody else. Are you serious? You cannot nod off on that play call. That was horrible. Horrible. You don't play around in an NFL game. But, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? People choose and pick who they like and who they don't like. You know what I mean? And that's fair. Like they say, all is fair in love and war. I can't be mad at that. If you're mad at it, then be mad at it. If you accept it, then accept it. All right. So now let's get back. Oh, and shout out to, we got new people up in here. Pyro, my dude, top of the morning. Michael Guerrero, pops to you as well. Wild Turkeys in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got Daryl Bruce, top of the morning for you. Man, thank you for being here. Let me see. What else, y'all? What y'all saying? Okay, I'm gonna continue breaking this down. So I'm just breaking it down in parts. I'm gonna give you an idea. Exactly. You can't nail every play call, bruh. Like I told y'all, when Pete Carroll decided to have Wilson throw the ball at the goal line instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots, that was a dumbass play call. Because when they talked about it again, I seen a thing what Marshawn Lynch said. Even if you were going to give it to Marshawn 4 times to get in the end zone and failed, you would live with those 4 tries giving it to him rather than throwing the ball for an interception. That was a dumbass play call. Facts. Has Josh McDaniels called some dumbass play calls? Yeah. Yes, he has. He has. There is no play caller in the NFL who has ever called a perfect game. Period. Let's go to another one. What about the head coach of, let's say, the Dischargers when they played us and we put them out to? You remember when they called a timeout? Wasn't that a dumbass play call? Calling a timeout when we could have ended in a tie and both teams make the playoffs? That was a dumbass play call. Dumbass play call. You know what I mean? Or a team going for 2 to win the game rather than an extra point to tie it and then play into overtime and give yourself an extra set of time. But you know what I mean? Like, remember 2016 when Carnum went for the 2-point conversion to win the game? Would that have been smart if we didn't get it? They would have been like, if we didn't get it, it was it's only a dumbass play call when it ain't successful. But when it is successful, brilliant. Brilliant. Nobody would have thought you was going to do that. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. You got to take the bitter with the sweet, bruh. You know what I mean? You can't get mad. You can't get upset. You can't get too happy. It is what it is. Blase, blase. You know what I mean? Top of the morning, man. Okay. So let's continue on forward with the breakdown. So we just had the GM talk about he's satisfied with the players we got. Their work ethic, they're being smart, love getting out there after it. Okay. We heard all that. So now what I'm going to go from that and go into, and he also mentioned, Ziegler mentioned the changes that the coaching staff has made to improve upon what we have, which as a coach, you try to find, you don't just evaluate the players, you got to evaluate yourself as an individual. Like, what can I do to be better? And we're going to I'm going to tell you, because players do that as well. What can I do to get better? Diablo said to get better, he felt because when they asked him, he gained weight. They asked him, was that what the team asked you to do or something you felt like you had to do? He said something I felt I had to do. So he's working on trying to improve himself for the game of football. Max Crosby is the same thing. He had to do some things that he felt to improve himself because he wants to totally dominate the NFL this year with sacks. He want to be disruptive. There's a lot of things he talked about. He's done things that he has never done before, like run 10 miles. He talks about all that, but we're going to get into it. So let me get into McDaniels and listen to what McDaniels say. See, and this is going to well, I don't know. Some of y'all just, when you hate something, you just going to hate it. You don't care if it changes. You just hate it anyway. You know what I mean? But let's get into McDaniels and his observation from his angle. What did he feel like they needed to do, they being the coaching staff, to improve this team to get better? And only a real man is going to admit that shit too. Shout out to Dirty Raider, man. Last night, hey, he was saying all the shit that I was planning on saying this morning. And you know what I mean? Hey, salute to you for being on the same page, bruh. Positive vibes, baby. Positive vibes. NWA all day. Even if you ain't a part of it, we love you anyway, bruh. It's Raider Nation or nothing. You feel me? So let's continue on to McDaniels and what he thinks or what he said that they needed to do to improve this team from the coaching standpoint.
Josh, in talking to a couple of your players, they've mentioned a difference in OTAs. I'd like to ask you if it's a change in philosophy or if just last year you couldn't do it because you're installing a new system. But they said it was very clear to them, your staff did a lot of self-scouting and have been teaching very detailed things, making changes in techniques, and they seem to love it. They're bragging about your coaches. As a coach, can you do anything better than get a roster full of guys that want to be coached and your coaches are doing it?
It'd be hard. I mean, the reality is all of us can do better, starting with me. And there's never been a season that you go through where you don't evaluate what you did and realize that, there were some mistakes that you made and a lot of things that you can do better. And our game is, I would say, evolving every year. And so if you don't evolve with it, sometimes you can just get run over. If you just stay stagnant and stay committed to something that may have worked, 7, 10, 12 years ago, it might not necessarily be the best thing to do anymore. I think there's certain techniques and fundamentals that will always be important and probably will always remain the same. But I know that our staff, we challenged ourselves in the spring when the players were away to really just go back and look at the things we did, the way we taught it, the pace that we implemented it at, the drills we were doing to try to get the things we wanted them to learn to stick. And I think the staff deserves the credit for that. They've done a good job of really trying to identify the right pace we should go at, the right volume that we should put in, and then the right ways to go about teaching those things. So we've definitely adjusted some things. I'm sure that we're not unique in that regard. I'm sure every other team is doing something similar. But there's definitely a change that we've tried to implement for the better. And if our players are saying the right things in that regard, it's not because we're telling them to. I hope that is what they feel because it's better for them.
There you have it. That's how you run a team. You don't just be stubborn and be stuck in your ways and be like, no, we're going to do it this way. Because what's the definition of insanity? Repeating, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome is insanity. To continue doing the same thing but expect a different outcome. So what do you have to do? Change up what you're doing to change the outcome. You have to change with the times. And see, a lot of people say, oh, no, this is the same Josh McDaniels from Denver. Is it? I don't think this Josh McDaniels would have ever got fired from that Denver team. I think his first time as a head coach, I think he was stuck in those ways. You know what I mean? When it was on him, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how you're going to do it. Rather than, you know what? Listening to the players after season one. Like I said, season one is something you got to chalk up. Don't invest in season one. And I'm going to tell you why. This is the only purpose season one presented itself as your first time coaching the team. For one, when you come in, there's two things a head coach must do in year one, first time with a team. One, you got to install your system, defense and offense. Whoever your coordinators are, whoever you brought on as your defensive coordinator, you probably told him, this is the kind of defense I want. This is the production I need my defense to get. Let's get, what players do we need to do it? Let's take care of that. All right. But before getting those players, you can't get them all in one whop. When you build, you only get 7 draft picks, and we're talking about a 53-man roster. You're not going to fill 53 positions in one draft, or 2 drafts, or 3, or 4. But we can thin out later on along the line of how many we need to fill. See, right now, that's why we were heavy in defense, free agent and draft as well, because there was a lot of holes to fill, but foundational holes. Notice it was every level we drafted. We drafted a safety, right? Chris Smith. We drafted a corner. You know what I mean? Bennett. We drafted a linebacker. You know what I mean? We drafted a defensive tackle, 2 of them. We drafted a defensive end. Every level we went out and drafted. So we're putting the foundational pieces in place. These are our key guys. Now, either they're going to pan out or they don't. If they don't, then you go in the next draft, but you don't give up too soon. Now let's get back to year one. You want to implement your system in year one. That's not the only thing the head coach has to do. Now he has to analyze the personnel that he already has, because you got to see, with you implementing your system, who are good fits for it and who are not. Those who do not fit your scheme, your system, that you feel like he's just not built for this system, you got to move on from. And then what you do is go into free agency as well as a draft and find those players who fit what you're doing. But it's going to take a whole year to figure this out, because it's going to be a whole year before you get to the draft and free agency. Now, the last year's draft, like I said, they were at a disadvantage. They were free agency in the draft last year, very, very, they didn't have enough time to do what they want to do to get the right personnel in here. They had to hurry. You know what I mean? Josh McDaniels was hired January 31st. Free agency is March. So basically, January is gone. So you only had February to get ready for free agency. 1 month. But every other team had a chance, had months before that, because they were already installed in that system of whatever team they went to or they were at. You know what I mean? They weren't brand new. You know what I mean? So you got to give, year two is more of a real, this season coming is the real focal point of gauging, do these guys know what they're doing? Are they leading us in the right direction? This is what you gauge them on. Year one, no, you can't gauge them on that one, because like I said, they had to implement their system and then analyze the personnel that was here that was not guys they drafted or signed. Now, they did draft and sign some guys when the draft and free agency happened, but like I said, they didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough time at all. Not like this year. I'll show you how much time they had this year. This is an example. Aiden O'Connell. It was Ziegler who seen O'Connell, and told McDaniels about him, saying, wait till you see this guy. But this was way back in October that happened. October. Year one in October? That October before? Oh, they were still, McDaniels was still calling plays and Ziegler was still in the front office of the Patriots. Because 3 months later is when they got hired here. So that's why I said you can't count. It's not, year one is a disadvantage to them. The only thing they could really do in year one is implement their system and analyze the personnel they already had. The draft picks, bro, they had to scramble scout-wise, and that's why they had to keep the old scout team. That wasn't their scout team last year. You seen by the dismissal of the scouts that they had. This was not their guys, but they had to have those guys coming in at a short notice. We're basically starting, day one was February 1st. Free agency is March. Then the draft is April. You got the combine. You got the Senior Bowl. You got all that shit was crammed in 2 months. They only had time to do. You know what I mean? That's not enough time to go through hundreds of players and seeing their strengths and their weaknesses and writing it down and, you know what I mean, gauging them and being like, oh, he'd be a perfect fit at linebacker for us. Or nah, he's good, but he's not maybe special team. They didn't have enough time to do that. But yet, us as fans, we're so in a rush. It's like, oh, the draft last year. Oh, you know what I mean? Zamir White. Zamir White, come on, bruh. He was a 4th round pick. What, you thought a 4th round pick was going to come in and make the Hall of Fame? Let's keep it a buck. Let this man get he's going to have to feel his way through. And I'm talking about Zamir White, just as an example. Last year was his first year in the system, and a lot of players said they struggled. Even Diablo said he was nervous in year one because he didn't know the system. But after year one, now we're going to get into it. I'm not going to even ruin it for y'all. We're going to continue on. So that was McDaniels on him and the coaching staff reevaluating themselves as far as what they can do to change, to make sure that change go ahead and rubs off on the players to make them great as well. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do, and I'm glad they did that. So that's that aspect. Now, something with Ziegler and undrafteds, this guy has a tendency of hitting on those picks. Well, not even picks. Free agent undrafteds, man. Hey, I don't know what it is that Ziegler, what black magic he's running out that damn office for undrafteds, but he has a nose for talent, regardless of where it is. And McDaniel said it doesn't matter where you're drafted. What matters is what do you do when you get here. And that's facts. It don't matter if you're the first round draft pick or undrafted. What do you do when you get here? You could be a number 1 overall pick and bust. Or you could be an undrafted and become a Hall of Famer. It has happened multiple times. But you got to have the kind of scouting crew and front office to be able to find, seek out, and sniff and sign these guys. But here's another undrafted that nobody's talking about, but I heard one of the not commentary dudes, but one of the people that were at the press conference asked this question about a certain individual. I did research on him. We about to get into this dude, bruh. This might be a sleeper of all sleepers at the linebacker position. Let's listen to what McDaniels is going to say about Drake Thomas out of North Carolina State.
I'd like to ask you about a UDFA, Drake Thomas. This is a guy probably should have been ACC Defensive Player of the Year. If he a couple more inches, could have been second, third, first round guy. What is it about him you like?
Yep.
What have you seen so far as mentally picking up the game?
Yeah, loves football, works hard. And again, if you come into the league in that capacity, which he did, and we have, like I said, we have a number of players, half our roster is undrafted. So, those players understand, I got to work my butt off. I got to, really love every aspect of the game so I can try to improve. Every rep he takes is a very intentional rep for him, whether it's in an individual period, a group period, or a team period. Good communicator, learns quickly, really studies hard from one day to the next so he's prepared the next day, and a good teammate. You can tell the guys like him, So, look, everybody, we always tell them they're all the same once they're Raiders. And so it's not really about how you got here, it's what you do here. And so Drake's really embraced that along with a lot of the other guys that we have in that capacity. But there's a lot to like about him. He's a good football player, period. You know what I mean? If you look at how tall he is and all the rest of it, you can say a lot about a lot of guys in that capacity. But at the end of the day, when the ball snapped, he does a good job of making plays and doing his job.
Here's another undrafted free agent. And like he said, half our roster is undrafted. These guys, I don't know who they got working in the front office with them. I would love to meet them just to pick their brain. Like, bro, what is it that you go, how do you get the information? Where do you get the information from to go find these guys that no team thought was worth drafting? But you guys find them in some way, somehow, the potential is there, and you sit there scratching your head like, why was he not drafted? Drake Thomas is one of those guys that makes you scratch your head and be like, why was he not drafted? And when you put more emphasis on size than production, come on now, that's a recipe for destruction. That's a recipe for failure. Why are you putting all your hope into, not hope, but why are you putting all your focus into what he lacks rather than putting your focus into what he has? You know what I mean? And distinguishing the two of what's the lack and what does he have? And the thing that he has, production, bruh. His production, we're going to get into it. His production speaks volumes. Why they did not want to draft him? because of his height or his weight. But nowadays, the linebackers are not your big 6'5", 255-pound linebackers anymore. You're getting down to 6 foot to 6'2" and around the 230s, no more than 240. They're trying to keep these linebackers athletic, mobility, coverage, because it's a passing league. It's a passing game now. You need linebackers to be able to cover in that shit. And a big, bulky ass linebacker, I doubt is going to do well in coverage. So now you're starting to like, okay, we're going to do a hybrid. We're going to take safeties and make them linebackers. Safeties because they're quick enough and they learn coverage being groomed as a safety, but bringing them into the box where even though they're 6 foot, keep them at like even Diablo. We're going to get into Diablo and all that. But let's talk about Drake Thomas. Let me show you the stats that this guy had last year at North Carolina State alone. Bruh, it's ridiculous why he was not drafted. And dude that asked the question to McDaniels was like, if he was a little bit, if it wasn't for his size, he would have been like second, third round pick. I agree. He would have with these accolades that he has. Let's dive into this real quick one time. Come on, Mr. Drake. Pull on up. Here we go, y'all. You got Drake Thomas, North Carolina State. He's an undrafted free agent linebacker. 6 foot, 230 pounds. Now look at his accolades, y'all. He was ACC leader in tackles for loss. He is a first-team All-ACC performer, team leader with 101 tackles, voted team captain for 2022. But here's the thing, here's the kicker right here. And listen to who the award was named after and how many times he got the shit. He earned the team's Bill Cowher Award for top linebacker and the Mario Williams Award for defensive MVP for a second straight year. 2 years in a row. He got the Bill Cowher linebacker, the best linebacker. Top linebacker. He got that award 2 years in a row, as well as the Mario Williams MVP. Bruh. What did teams not see in that? I mean, like, I've always been a stat guy because the numbers will not lie to you. They will not lie. These stats right here of as far as what he did last season, why was he not drafted? But you know what I say? I'm glad he wasn't. Because guess what colors he's wearing now? Silver and black. This might be a sleeper, you guys. Pay attention. McDaniels spoke highly of this guy, about his production, about how he is his work ethic. Keyword again, work ethic. They're building a defense that, hey, once these guys get a familiarity with each other and develop chemistry and be able to move as one, like I said yesterday, if they move as one, if they get to the point where they learn the defense to the point of where they can rely on each other, where there's no worries like, hey, if I don't got it, my brother over here got it. That's the kind of defense you want to build. A swarming type defense that's relentless. From quarter number 1 to quarter number 4, the effort is still the same. That's how you want to build a defense in 2023. Relentless. Just keep coming and coming. You know what I mean? Just keep coming. Non-stop. Motor don't stop. Love the game where you don't want to be taken off the field. You want to be out there to make the next play. I got this dude. You know what I mean? It's like it's 2 years in a row. We get undrafted that got value to them. And I think this year, we'll have more this year just because of the fact that they got a first year under their belt of how to set up their system for scouting and to go and finding these talents that weren't drafted in the regular 1 through 7 rounds. and actually get them after the fact and get them to want to come here. You know what I mean? So it's something we have to pay attention to. Pay attention to the young guys on this defense. And another thing that I just heard was that the offensive line, and this is off what we're talking about now, but with Garoppolo and the offensive line, they all went out to the hockey game of the Golden Knights. Usually you're more familiar with hearing the quarterback and the receivers trying to build that bond, but they're building the bond. Where they say you build a team from? On both sides of the ball, you build it from where? The trenches, right? So shouldn't that be where you start at with developing a rapport and a chemistry is in the trenches, right? From your center to anybody else, especially your offensive line that's protecting you as quarterback. Well, Garoppolo and the offensive linemen are hanging out. They're hanging out. I like that. I really like that. So they can get on the same page. You know what I mean? Then once he's cleared the throw, which they said he's going to be cleared to be able to start practice when camp starts. Shit, I knew that was going to happen. Bro, everybody was so, what if he ain't going to never play again? What, from a hangnail? What, he broke his foot? How many motherfuckers retired from a broke foot? I wait. I wait. You know what I mean? Shit. Bruh, a broke foot. Not like smashed because a car landed on it. Just, broke here and there. Had to clean up some shit. You know what I mean? Which he needed to clean up because then, the healing process begins as soon as you start the cleanup process, the surgery. But I'm getting an understanding of the players they want, the players they got, and then actually, are those players really that they want? This is why I'm breaking this shit down. All right, let's continue on. So that was about Drake Thomas, undrafted linebacker, which I seen him. I looked at him. I didn't go watch film. You know what I mean? I'm looking at specific undrafteds that possibly can make the team. I never thought like him at linebacker was like, oh, well, he has I was looking at like Adam Plant, looking at what's the two offensive linemen, looking at them. You know what I mean? And I think there's another defensive end as well that you got to from Boise State, I think. Keep your eye on him as well. But yes, Drake Thomas, keep your eye on this. Keep your ear open to him because, man, I'm telling you. Now we're going to get into what McDaniel say about Diablo taking on more responsibility and his maturity in his third year in the NFL as being a green dot linebacker for the Raiders. So let's talk. Let's hear that.
Next step for Divine Diablo. Are we like with that group of linebacker overall?
Yeah, Divine's. I mean, he's I'm fond of Divine. I think he knows that, and we've given him a lot of responsibility. He's wearing the green dot, in practice, which is obviously a role that young players once they have that on their shoulders, now they're responsible for more than just their job. They have to communicate to everyone else. They have to be alert and aware of situational football because they're essentially the quarterback of the defense once you have that responsibility. So Divine's grown literally every week since I've seen him and known him. He works really hard at the game of football. I think he's embraced this year as a year that, is a growth year for him, not only on the field in terms of what he does on the field, but also how he can impact others. And I think that's something that you see from him every day.
Josh, piggybacking off of that, I had a player tell me that Divine was stepping up, telling guys where to go. Patrick says he's bigger physically, but guys said he seems to be more confident. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do. And, again, with knowledge, comes that confidence in yourself, and also the confidence to tell your teammates if they ask a question. Like last year, I know we had a few younger players where somebody would ask them a question and there would be crickets, and that's a bad feeling if you're the guy asking the question, So Divine knows a lot more. He understands the whole scope of the defense. We're trying to get him to learn it from that perspective so he can help others, like I said, much like the quarterback. And he's embraced that.
Okay, so now we're understanding that Diablo is getting the responsibilities, and I heard his interview, and he's ready for it. He's ready for it. He was up to 238 pounds. He said, but that was kind of limiting his cardio. He noticed that he needed more air, man, at 238. So he's down to 234, but he said generally between 230 and 234 is something that he's comfortable at playing at. So right now he's at 234, playing at that weight, and he feels like that's somewhere where he's suited for. He is the green dot linebacker, the quarterback of the defense, to be able to communicate with the rest of the defense. That's solid. But Diablo also came out and said that they asked every linebacker to be ready if they get the green dot. So now, with that being said, we know what the expectations are for Diablo, as well as what's going on with him getting the green dot and being more vocal. Other players is noticing this as well. He says he feels more comfortable in the defense now, which, a year under your belt, it will do that. It will give you the confidence. So let's go ahead and move on. We're getting a look at the linebacker core right now. This is what we're looking at, because this was a concern yesterday that some people in the chat had a concern with. Let me get into the chat. Before I continue on. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Raider, hold on, man. Where my shit go? Raider Gabe in the building, man. Top of the morning to you. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Let's see who else. Anybody else new up in here, man? Mike said he got 13 subscribers. Man, hey, you on your way, bruh. You on your way to that swinger party he was gonna throw. 7 more subscribers. That's 20. Boy, everybody, man, assholes and elbows everywhere, bruh. Let's see. I disagree with you, Lobby One. I disagree with you. His numbers speak different. As far as saying that he's not a good leader, how? How is it that you're the play caller and you broke records this year? You were the 12th ranked offense this year. You have the league leading rusher this year. And the rusher, Josh Jacobs, were running the plays that Josh McDaniels calling. So why are we not correlating the numbers with, the factual numbers with the outcome? You can't pick and choose. We can't look at the defense and be like, oh, the defense was ranked 27th. Well, shit, they played like it. Facts. But we look at the offense like the offense was 12th ranks. Bullshit. Them numbers is wrong. How we going to say that number is wrong about the offense, but the number about the defense is right? So stats are only right if it's offense or defense? That's why I said we got to stop listening to all these other people and taking their opinion and calling it facts. There's facts out there. There's numbers, stats. You know what I mean? You don't lead the league in rushing if you're a horrible play caller. Facts. You don't lead the league in touchdowns at wide receiver if you're a horrible play caller. You are not a top 10 offensive line if you are a horrible. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with play calling, but they doing their job. You know what I mean? And they know this. They mention how they hear social media talk this bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's not factual. Ziegler came out and said, hey, yeah, we hear how the social media is saying how the team is trash, the offensive line is trash. But you know what? That's okay, because we use that as fuel. They pay attention to it. They know the fans that know what they're talking about and the fans that don't. You know what I mean? Reggie Green, man. Hey, shout out to you, Reggie Green, man. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, man, you come back every morning, man, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Raiders Allegiance, man. I appreciate it. For real, for real. Lenny Fox, what's the deal, man? Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. We're going to continue on. I just want to make sure I don't forget nobody. The Raider Room is in the building. Tops. Pyro, of course. Alfredo, of course. You know what I mean? Dark is in the building. Yes, indeed. Tony Shepard in the building. We in here, man. You in here. Let me move this out the way. All right. So let's continue on. So what we're going to cover now is I'm going to get into they talked about Diablo. Now I want to get Ziegler Now we're going to talk about Robert Spillane that we got from Pittsburgh. Now, some people were saying, oh, I don't have faith in Spillane, and you know what I mean, without doing research. Research this dude. Understand what, you know what I mean? They was like, oh, they want him to be a green dot. He ain't never been a green dot. Yes, he has. See, that's how you know when people don't do research, when they say shit like that, like he's never been a green dot. He was a green dot with Pittsburgh. And if any team in the league that you can think of, you don't have to like them or not, that's known for anything, we know Pittsburgh is known for their defense at linebacker and safety. That's just what they do. And they do have the consistency there because they only had, 3 coaches in the history of that franchise? They're on their 3rd coach in the history of that franchise. So something is in all those history that they had. Defense was always the key thing. They always had the best defensive players playing on their defense. Always, it seemed like. Always. You can go Rod Woodson, Palomalo. The list goes on and on and on. That's just what they did. Defense is what they're known for. Baltimore Ravens is the same way. Defense. They're known for defense. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, bruh. You know what I mean? So let's hear about Spillane and the breakdown on him. And this is coming from Ziegler, the GM. Now, we heard about Diablo, right? Getting the green dot. Listen to what the plan is with Spillane.
Expect from that whole unit.
Yeah, we're excited about him and Divine, pairing together. Robert is another self-made guy, chip on your shoulder, loves the process, loves to work, loves to get in the weight room, loves to put in extra time in the film room. And again, that's what we wanted to continue to improve the fabric of this team. We're building a foundation here. And so we're trying to build a foundation of guys that can be great examples to the younger players and how they prepare and perform. So, we added Robert. He's a guy that was able to wear the green dot in Pittsburgh, make the calls, lead the defense, get people lined up, problem solve. He's a physical downhill player and probably a little bit more athletic than even we anticipated since we've got him. The speed and quickness is a little bit better than what we thought. It's hard, you don't see it until sometimes you get him right in the grass in front of you. So he's done a good job. Divine continues to develop. Luke Masterson's made a big jump.
Yeah, I like Luke.
Yeah,
I really did. The time
last year. A guy that played safety in college. He played linebacker too, but it wasn't, he didn't start off as a linebacker. So he was still developing and growing. So he's done a good job. And then, we brought Curtis Bolton back, who made an impact for us in the kicking game. And we have a couple other young players there that we signed in free agency. And so, we drafted Zach Burney in the 6th round from Florida. He's shown some of the athletic traits that we saw in Florida out here on the field here. So have some young guys there, some guys that still have some things to prove. And so we're excited about that competition there.
Patrick Graham last.
Yeah, the linebackers, they're young. You know what I mean? That's why I said the offense is going to have to carry us, because this defense is going to need time to grow and mature and develop a rapport with each other. But they got the pieces in place at every level. They're starting the foundational right now for defense. And all you got to do is just add to it as each draft comes, free agency comes. You add to it. You know what I mean? But I feel like they're on the right track. Every type of player that Ziegler said that they were out going after, seems to me, from what everybody is saying, that's who they got. Guys that want to be coached. Guys that are smart, work ethic. You know what I mean? Grinding. Diablo said Spillane, when they finish practice, Spillane is telling Debo, come on, man. Not Debo, but Diablo, come on, let's stay another 30 minutes and keep working. That's the kind of dude Spillane is. That's what you want. He don't have to be the greatest linebacker of all time. Just know what your job is and perform it at a high level and just keep giving us production. Nonstop. He has a motor. He won't quit. He loves football. That's Max Crosby. That's the same shit that Max Crosby is. But we knocking this dude. That's only because you never seen him play. But when you go watch his tape from last year, he makes big plays. He did it against us more than once. He made big plays. Now, he might be undersized as well, 6 foot and whatever. But I think nowadays that's not an issue no more. It's not an issue no more. You're looking for a little bit more quickness in your linebackers, coverage skills. They said Diablo been working on his coverage as well, and he looks a lot better than what he did last season. I think being comfortable in the defense is a lot to attribute to that. You know what I mean? So it's a wait and see. Like I said, I'm optimistic, but show me. You know what I mean? Like if you catch a girl cheating, I'm optimistic you won't suck another dick, but show me that you won't. You know what I mean? Hey, sorry for the analogies, y'all. Hey, excuse my language, my French. My French ain't that great, but I speak hella good English. Sometimes when it ain't broken. But hey, yeah, for real though. Spillane, I think, was a good addition. I'm not mad at it. Now, last but not least, because my time is up, but let's go ahead and talk about Max Crosby. Listen to what Max Crosby says, because this is the veteran leader of this team. Now, if you think the coaches are lying, I'll be damned you say Max Crosby is lying about the same thing.
I love the guys that we brought in. I love what we're doing.
Play that.
Outside world, everybody's going to have an opinion, especially when you're not winning. They deserve to, have their criticisms. I get it. We're 6-11 last year. It's not good enough. It's unacceptable. And I take it extremely personal. So, yeah, the fans have a right to be upset. But I know this. I know guys are putting in work right now. We have a close team. Guys are off the field doing things together, and we're doing the right things to put ourselves in a position to be successful. And the outside opinions, we appreciate them, because at the end of the day, when it's bad, you're going to know it's bad. And when it's good, you're going to know it's good as well. So I've been on the Raiders for 4 years now. We've been in the playoff one time in my 4 years, and that's just not good enough. So I totally understand where the fans are coming from, but I really do love this group. I feel like the coaches, coaches and players have really looked in the mirror and realized, okay, this is what we need to do. What we did last year was not good enough. And it's simple as that, from top to bottom. So if we get a bunch of guys on the same page that are bought in on winning, not just individual stats, not just, all right, I'm going to have my success, I'm going to be good. If we do it for each other, everybody's going to have success. Everyone's going to, do above and beyond of what, the outside world expects. So it's really about just buying in and believing in the guy next to you, and that's going to give you a great chance to win. And like I said, people have their opinions on what we should do as an organization. We need to draft this guy. We're getting rid of these guys. What are we doing? They get paid for a reason, upstairs, and they have a vision of what they want. And I would be crazy if I didn't believe in that. They believe in me. I believe in this team, and I feel like all that matters is the guys in this building putting in the work every single day, and we have to go out there and produce for the fans and just prove everybody that we're a good team and got a lot going for the future.
That lets you know they pay attention to what us content creators say, what people on Twitter say, and elsewhere. Instagram, they say, no matter what people think, I know we got a good team. We got good players that's putting in the work. Not only are they on the field putting in work, but they're hanging with each other, building that bond, building that personal chemistry. That's what it takes. And they're doing everything that they feel like they have to do to make this thing work, and not just work to be okay and mediocre, but to actually work and grow into something special. You got to look past your personal accolades. Worry about a team. And I told you, that's what they were building. Don't look at the individuals on this defense. Oh, he's not a big name. No, that does not matter. How does the whole defense play? I told y'all that. Yesterday, I told you. It's just like the Pistons versus the Lakers. The Lakers had Shaq and Kobe. Hall of Famers, no doubt. There ain't one. I don't think there's one Hall of Famer on that Detroit team that beat them in the finals. Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups. None of them names can compare to a Kobe and Shaq. And then they had Gary Payton and Karl Malone, 4 Hall of Famers. And here come little old Detroit. Don't have that many players. Didn't have no players on there that name lit up like Kobe and Shaq. Gary Payton and Karl Malone. But you know what they did? They beat them as a team. They had a better team. They played better together. They had the right pieces playing together. That's what this defense needs. Yeah, we got our star in Max Crosby, but everybody else don't have to be Max Crosby. But what we expect them to do is give the effort like Max Crosby. That's the key. Give the effort of a Max Crosby. You won't be Max Crosby. You know, maybe somebody might be greater than. But all we ask for is to give the same effort as. That's it. Give the same effort. How can you be mad at somebody if they went all out and gave their effort? Even if they wasn't successful, they gave that effort. And then all they got to do is start working with themselves to build themselves up to be better next time. They got hard workers on this team. They drafted them. They signed them as free agents. These are guys that are willing to work to become great. Whether they're great individually or great as a unit, it doesn't matter. Great is great. No matter how you become great, great is great. You know what I mean? You might be like, well, I think Trayvon Morig is better. He'll be greater in a good defense with pieces around him. Okay, we'll put pieces around him then. If he's not great individually, if he plays better in a unit than he does individually, then get a good unit around him then. Take advantage of that then. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not knocking this team. I don't think they're poorly coached. I don't think that they have. I don't even believe that there's draft picks we had that were reaches, because now, like, nobody, like, I look at it how it's night and day. When the draft happened and they grabbed Aiden O'Connell, a lot of people are like, why you fuck with Aiden O'Connell? You look like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Until they start hearing the shit coming out of OTAs. Bro, maybe we need to let him start. Let's not jump the gun. He's not ready to start. Unless, because I heard he's a very smart individual. If he can grab this offense, and like, you got people in life that can do that. Like, they can grab something and own it that quick, rather than taking time to learn to own it. They grab that shit, it's second nature. Like, damn, this little motherfucker was walking when he was 6 months years old. That you got them kind of people out there, bruh, that shit like this, like shit they love and shit that they have a knack for is easy. It's easy. Like fools that just like math is just simple to them. Oh, bruh, it's just numbers. But then like some other people who can't grasp numbers the same way, like, I can't understand this. And then the person that got it, like, man, bruh, you don't see it? You know what I mean? You don't see the equation? You know, there's people out there that's like that. What if Aiden O'Connell is one of them type of dudes in that offense? You would think he would have to be looking at his journey in college at Purdue to move up the depth chart to become the starter. You know what I mean? As a walk-on, it kind of makes you think like, bruh, hey, some people are built different. The shit they find easy, we might find complicated as shit. Like, damn, how the hell how you figure that out? It's nothing to them. It's like Rain Man, or it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Rain Man for real. I remember the movie Rain Man, when they dropped the box of matches, he just looked at it and told you exactly how many matches fell out the box. They got people like that with math, bro. And then you got people like that in football that just, you give them a playbook, give them 2 nights, 2 days. Give me 2 days and I'll have that whole playbook memorized and know everything. There's just people that just, they grab shit and process it better than others. What if Aiden O'Connell was that dude? What if that's the reason why we're hearing the way he zips the ball? But then again, there's no defense. There's no pressure. You know what I mean? You got to take it with a grain of salt. Don't get it too excited about it, but look at it as like there's precursors to possibility of him being a good, decent quarterback. Precursors. You know what I mean? So we'll wait and see. Like I said, don't get too high, don't get too low, but the optimism around the whole team is very positive right now. Very positive. From the coaches to the players, they're all singing the same song. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. They're singing the same song. All around the world, same song. Singing the same song. Somebody, they all can't be lying. you know what I mean? It's like when we hear something positive, it's like, oh, he was told to say that. But when they say something negative, what we're supposed to believe that? Oh yeah, that's the truth. If he telling it like that, come on now, come on now. Everybody's saying the same thing about these young dudes. How they're working hard. Their work ethic is that's what we got to remember, that term right there. WE. We. Work ethic. We will succeed if we all apply the same work ethic. And that's to each and every one of us, fans and players. If you apply work ethic to anything you do, more times than not, you'll succeed. Just because you refuse to quit. That's why I said I can't quit on my team. I don't believe in quitting. I don't think, oh, my team is horrible. They're not going to win shit. I can't. It's just not building me to think like that. You know what I mean? I'm built towards, like, keep hope alive. You know, you know what I mean? I'll be having that Jesse Jackson. They be like, keep hope alive. Up with hope, down with dope. You know what I mean? Because I've always stated, and this is the worst case scenario. Hey, can you imagine quitting the day before you were supposed to make it? Like me going, like say I'm playing the lottery, right? Putting my numbers in. And I play the same numbers over and over again. Birth dates, ages, all that good shit, right? I play the numbers over and over and over again. And I said, like, for the past 5-10 years, I ain't hit shit, with those numbers. So, I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit gambling. And then the very next day, those numbers pop up. That's why it's hard for me to quit. That is why it's hard for me to quit. Can't do it. I can't. It's just not in me to quit, bruh. I feel like I'm going to miss out if I quit. The day I stop rooting for this team and pushing for this team, what if that's the day before they win the Super Bowl? Not the day before, but the year before. What if the year I quit, I'm done with Raiders. That's my team, but bruh, I'm just going to focus my attention on other shit. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. And then that same fucking moment is the moment that the following moment is them winning, doing a good job in the season of winning the Super Bowl. Bruh, I'm going to feel like a straight loser. Like, straight loser. I'm going to feel like a loser for real. You quit on the team and they won it all? I wonder if motherfuckers felt like that with the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are 2 games away from winning the Stanley Cup. They've been to the Stanley Cup once before and lost. They've been in existence for 6 years. 6 years. 2 Stanley Cups. One of them was a loss. This one, they're on their way. And I guess whoever was constructing this team said, give them, in 6 years, they'll win a Stanley Cup. We'll see. We'll see. But with that being said, man, I thank each and every one of you guys for being here, man. Floyd R. Felix, man, top of the morning. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, for real. Y'all go get Ray Love in the building. I see y'all, man, for real. I be talking, man, but good shit we talked about, man, today, for real, for real. Charm City in the building, man. Shout out to you, the Raider Room in the building. You're more confident in our linebacker group after hearing Diablo. Hey, for real. That's like I said, we have to listen to them. Like, I'm not at the practices or OTAs. We can only go by the coaches and the players. And like, I try to get all the information and then try to consume it all and be like, hey, they're all saying the same shit. The players and the coaches are saying, and the GM is saying the same shit. What, they all lying? They all like went in the bathroom and say, look, we're going to go out there on content day and we just going to say Diablo is doing a good job. We're going to give him the green dot. You know what I mean? He gained weight. You know what I mean? Muscle. Yeah, we just gonna say that. And then all three of them up, like Diablo, McDaniels, and motherfucking Ziggler all got together and conspired and be like, yeah, well, that's what we gonna do. That's the game plan. On 3, break. 1, 2, 3, break. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. But I'm right there with you, my brother. For real. I believe that same shit. I'm optimistic. Like I said, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but I got a good faith in the fact that it can happen. And you know what, Dark? Him proving to Josh that he was ready for that green dot, that's how you want it. You want him to do that rather than being forced on him like you're going to be the green dot. But coach, I don't want to be. Nope. Stop crying. Motherfucker, put the dot on your helmet. You're going to be a green dot. Oh, okay. Rather than, coach, I want to be green dot. Go earn that shit. I got you. He earned that shit from what the players and the coaches are saying. He's more vocal. He's more in control. He said it himself. He's more confident in this defense because he has a year under his belt. Bruh, I'm telling you this shit. Don't you sleep on the Raiders, bruh. I'm telling you, don't sleep on these dudes. Now, the only thing we have to worry about on defense, how quickly can they all become one? You know what I mean? How quick can they play as one? How many games is it going to take? But bro, if they show improvement every game, bro, and we're gonna be like, bro, we talked about this on Lunatics channel for real. You know what I mean? Hey, right on, Dirty. It's like, man, we gonna have to for real. Man, right on, Goon. For real though, I'm just this is just my observation. Will it happen? I can't predict the future. If I could, I'd be rich and I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be on the beach, butt naked with 2 women and a coconut drink. You feel me? Okay, not butt naked. I'll be in a man speedo or some shit. Maybe a sock, a Raider sock, silver and black tube sock. You know what I mean? Hey, but for real though, it's a lot of signs are pointing in the direction of something great can happen out of this. Will something great happen? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not Mr. Predictor. I'm not gonna be like these other people that the Raiders is gonna. No, I can't say what the Raiders is going to do. I can say what I hope they're going to do, and I can say what everybody else in the building is saying that they know they can do. I can't say I know. I'm not on the team playing. But listening to them, they give me optimism, like listen to Max Crosby and Diablo and Ziggler and McDaniels, and just listening to those guys, they give me hope. Like, bruh, they know more than I do. And if everything they're saying is they have the ingredients to make a bomb-ass gumbo. I'm being the cook, you know what I mean? Hey, I will do a gumbo show on Cooking with the Nation this winter. So stay tuned when the season is jumped off, maybe in December. Hey, this might be a good implication of what's to come. Different ingredients, but a bomb-ass outcome. Bomb-ass outcome. I'm ready to rock and roll, y'all. I know y'all feel that shit. You know what I mean? It's been a long time coming. You know what I mean? And if we can get this defense on track, I got confidence in the offense. I'm not even worried. We didn't even talk about the offense. That's because our concern is defense. That's why all the draft picks, not all of them, majority of them, and majority of the free agents were all defensive acquisitions. Because we know that what our weakness is. We know what our weakness is. Did we fix it? That's going to be the fun part. Let's kick back as the nation. Get your popcorn, roll your blunt, get you a drink. Let's just watch it. Let's watch it like I'm going to watch Transformers this weekend. Shout out to Transformers. No, let me quit like they a sponsor. Shout out to Transformers. You know what I mean? I wish they would. Hey, you get 2 free movie tickets and a 5-gallon bucket of popcorn. And the bitch that sold it to you. Hey, hell yeah. Head in the no, let me quit. I'll be on one. But yeah, let me jump off here, man. It's time for me to hit this sack, man. Get my rest in. This is my Friday night. I won't be working overtime this weekend, so hey, there will be a show tomorrow morning. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, Raider Nation. We're going to talk some more shit. Then Friday, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck, Friday? Yes, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to cover the other aspect of the positivity of what the fuck. Dirty Lunatic Show back. I'm gonna try to work on some skits this weekend, man. Hey, like I said, I'm back, bruh. We back. You know what I mean? Let's share. Let's all take part in this positive movement, man. Hey, shout out to y'all, man. And this is my last words before I get off. Anybody who has differences with an individual that you once called a friend and he didn't steal money from you, fuck your wife, or lie to you about fucking your wife, you know what I mean? It can be fixed. It can be fixed, bruh. Let's put all this pettiness aside. I want to enjoy this season, because if it's a special season, you can't tell me there's nothing better than us enjoying the season together. Like air high fives in the chat on Mondays after the game, you know what I mean? Or high fiving Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night after the game, coming out the gate 6-0. When they thought that we couldn't win more than 7.5, but we come out the gate 6. That's the kind of shit as the nation, bruh. Let's all do that shit. Any kind of instances you may have with an individual that's a part of the nation that is petty, fix that shit. Fix that shit. Because it's more than just that, man. Like I said, we bigger than this. The whole purpose of the movement we were putting together was to counter the movement we thought was bullshit. Were we right or were we wrong? So put your differences aside. A good discussion between two men usually, calm heads prevail. Let's go back. Let's have fun. Let's tailgate. Let's get drunk. You know what I mean? Let's bottoms up. You know what I mean? The victory, and we get the victory, and God willing, we make the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Let's put all that shit behind us, man, and let's enjoy the season, because if it's a special one, we don't need that shit to be scarred by sideline bullshit. Let's do this shit, y'all. Whenever y'all come out to Vegas for any game that you plan on coming out to, let's hook up. Let's at the tailgate. Let's toss them back, and you know what I mean. If you blow them, you blow them. If you drink it, you drink it. Because I'm telling you, let's not miss out on a special opportunity that we've been waiting on for 2 decades. Longer than that, really. 2 decades since the last time we've been in the Super Bowl, but longer than that since we won it. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't think we're far off. I don't think we're far off. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, you guys enjoy your Wednesday. Happy hump day. Be safe. Make it back to your loved ones, man. Hey, it's Raiders or nothing. You feel me? It's Raiders or nothing. Ain't no other option. Ain't no other team that if the Raiders don't win, I'm going, what you gonna go do? Stick a thumb up your ass? Because that's the only thing you better not choose no other team. We gonna find you. We gonna find you. I'll choose somebody in the chat to ass rape you. Now let me. They be like, nah, nigga, I don't want to. I ain't ass raping nobody. You don't pick me. I'll flip a coin. Hey, come on, we gonna put Dark name in it. NorCal Raider Jesse, Alfredo, Ray Love. Hey, I'm gonna flip a coin. And whoever name, I'm gonna put name in a hat. Whoever name come up, whoever hating on the Raiders, gonna get ass raped by whoever name I pull. You bet? Deal? Is that a deal? No. Hey, y'all, let me quit bullshit. Y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday, man. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. It don't stop and it won't stop. To the beat, Too Short. Shout out to Too Short. Hey, you already know, like I say about this time, I'm out this B-I
Hey, 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 hey.